Oh my gosh, boys. I was this close to forgetting to post this video. It was like, I was about to head to bed. I was tired. Me and Sophia just watched the first episode of the Fallout show. It's pretty good. Interested in it, seeing how it develops. Might actually watch the whole show. Pretty long episodes though. That's the only downside, but seems good so far. Better than some other ones we've watched in the past. But anyways, I'm rambling. So I almost wasn't gonna do Mark 8 here, boys. So halfway through, getting through it. Pretty sweet. We're gonna do what we did with Mark 6 and kind of read through it and just talk about it, and then skedaddle on to bed. All right, Mark 8. In those days, when again a great crowd had gathered and they had nothing to eat, he called his disciples to him and said to them, I have compassion on the crowd, because they have been with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat. If I send them away hungry to their homes, they will faint on the way. And some of them have come from far away. And his disciples answered, How can one feed these people with bread here in this desolate place? And he asked them, How many loaves do you have? They said, 7. And he directed the crowd to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves, and having given thanks, he broke them and gave them to his disciples to set before the people. And they set them before the crowd. And they had a few small fish. And having blessed them, he said that these also should be set before them. And they ate and were satisfied. They took up the broken pieces left over, 7 baskets full. And there were about 4,000 people. He sent them away. And immediately he got into the boat with his disciples and went to the district of Dalmanutha. Classic miracle. Feeding the 4,000. It's amazing. I mean, just kind of like reminds you of just how God provides sometimes, and how like Jesus will provide things just randomly, and it'll just like for our family, for example, like sometimes we've just gotten money and it's just enough, to like perfectly help us with like the financial situation that we're in, type of deal. That happened when like my dad was single, like all the time. So that's like kind of a cool real life type application that I've kind of seen in my own life. That's kind of cool. Just like, it's like, oh, we only have this much, or oh, this is like a situation that we can't deal with, and then it's like, no, God's just gonna provide just enough, or he's gonna provide more sometimes. And in this case, it was literally, there were leftovers, and there was 4,000 people who were starving. Well, not starving, but like extremely hungry. Then boom, there it is, provided and some. So that's an awesome passage. All right, moving on. The Pharisees came and began to argue with him, seeking from him a sign from heaven to test him. And he sighed deeply in his spirit and said, Why does this generation seek a sign? Truly I say to you, no sign will be given to this generation. And he left them, got into the boat again, and went to the other side. So this is great. He goes into the boat, goes on the other side of the sea, and these bros start arguing with him. The Pharisees just start arguing. And then he's like, you always just want signs. That's all you want. They're demanding a sign. And it's like, signs, wonders have been happening this whole time. So he's kind of like, bruh. And literally goes to the other side again. It's so funny. But I like this quote, why does this generation seek a sign? Truly I say to you, no sign will be given to this generation. I mean, it reminds you of people who are always like, well, if God showed me he was real, I would believe in him. And it's like, bruh, he's everywhere. you're just looking in the wrong places, or you just don't. You're trying to ignore him, who he is. So, I do like that he kind of pinpoints the, like, why do you need a sign? I'm right here, type of deal. Now they had forgotten to bring bread, and they had only one loaf with them in the boat. And he cautioned them, saying, "Watch out, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod." And they began discussing with one another the fact that they had no bread. And Jesus, aware of this, said to them, "Why are you discussing the fact that you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive or understand? Are your hearts hardened? Having eyes, do you not see? And having ears, do you not hear? Do you not remember? When I broke the 5 loaves of the 5,000, how many baskets full of broken pieces did you take up?" They said to him, 12. "And the 7 for the 4,000, how many baskets full of broken pieces did you take up?" And they said to him, 7. And he said to them, "Do you not yet understand?" Yes, I do not yet understand. You boys are gonna have to help me out with this one. It's getting late here, so I'm gonna move on. But text the chat, group chat, if you can help me out with this passage. So, Jesus healing a blind man. Here we go. They came to Bethsaida, and some people brought to him a blind man and begged him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village. And when he had spit on his eyes and laid his hands on him, he said, "Do you see anything?" And he looked up and said, "I see people, but they look like trees walking." Then Jesus laid his hands on his eyes again, and he opened his eyes. His sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. And he sent him to his home, saying, "Do not even enter the village." This is another, like, healing of a blind man that's very interesting to me. It's like, I don't know the significance of Jesus, like, spitting on them. Like, he seems to spit and then, like, rub their eyes with it. I don't understand the significance of that, but I do find it funny that he yet again, like, is like, "Don't enter the village even." I'm done with you guys going around and being like, this guy's, like, doing crazy miracles, because he's always trying to stop people from doing it. And Jesus went on with his disciples to the villages of Caesarea Philippi. And on the way he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" And they told him, "John the Baptist, and others, Elijah, and others, one of the prophets." And he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter answered him, "You are the Christ." And he strictly charged them to tell no one about him. Bang. So Peter knows. Peter knows that Jesus is Christ. But Jesus doesn't want people to know that, which is interesting, because you kind of assume almost that people just know already, because, like, he kind of proclaims it, but maybe people still just thought he was a prophet. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. And he said this plainly. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But turning and seeing his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan, for you're not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man." And calling the crowd to him with his disciples, he said to them, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's will save it. For what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? For what can a man give in return for his soul? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him will the Son of Man also be ashamed when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." And he said to them, "Truly I say to you, There are some standing here who will not taste death until they see the kingdom of God, and it has come with power. It's a great passage. I mean, that's like how we should live out our lives. That last. Whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel will save it. Absolutely insane. It's a radical call that we have, guys. As we're going into this next week, especially those who are interacting with other people, which is why I mean all of us, but unbelievers, I mean, let's remember that. All right, boys. Peace out.